let me ask you Russia, and if you were to now make the similar predictions for the next year when you're speaking with us again, and I question you on those, what would those be? So Russia and the next changes that 2019 could see as something that we would all have to contend with.
Well, to be very honest, if there's one thing which baffles me about American thinking currently, and to some extent European thinking, it is the obsession with Russia. I think it's so emotional, it's so visceral.
Like India with Pakistan?
In a way, most. In most.
No, I'm sorry, I'm just putting it.
We haven't yet passed laws of sanctions against Pakistan.
Okay.
So, and I'll tell you why. Look, I mean, it's interesting you make that comparison, because in our own part of the world, we get advice from other people saying, be practical, be rational, you can't not talk to the other guy. Okay, they may be doing bad things, but you got to live with it. You got to get them into the tent. Now, for people who give you all this advice in running our lives,
Behave like ourselves when it comes to
absolutely. So I'm honestly, the extremes to which this has gone, and I'm not sure it's even smart, because I think it's actually giving Russia less and less incentives
to be a stable actor.
No, I mean, obviously then Russia will be angular to assert itself, make its point. So I think this is an issue on which, it's not an ideological issue, at least for us. But I think we have a very clear sort of difference in perspective with the Western world broadly here. Your answer, where would we be where would we start? I think about the only thing I could say safely, I hope, 2019 is going to be a much bumpier year than 2018. I think you're going to have, particularly US, China, look, the Chinese have come such a long way and so successfully. They're not going to give up on a model which in their minds has worked for them, and the United States today, and Europe to some degree, finds its very core interests under pressure. So I see sort of elements of irreconcilability here. Now, but in real life, even the irreconcilable is temporarily reconciled. So I think you're going to have truces, you're going to have partial agreements, you're going to have a kind of a ceasefire of various kinds, but it will remain very frictional and very bumpy, and I'm not sure that's going to be good for the world, but it's going to be the reality.